Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Dallas Stars franchise mode here in NHL 20. So in last episode, we started up the season simulation after we made a couple free agent signings, and so far so good. I think we are 19, 17, and 5 with 43 points. As you can see, we are in a playoff spot, but this division is very tight. Like, there's only 9 points separating us in last place. So we are probably going to be making some trades to try and help our team out a bit, because I was looking at the player stats at the end of the last episode, and I was not very impressed with some of the statistics. So I'll show you guys the problems we have at the moment. So on our defensive core, as you can see, Lindback is a -10 within 41 games. He's not really a great fit on that top 6. He's more of a top 2 defenseman or a top 4 defenseman, and we're playing him on the top 6, and we also have 3 offensive defensemen in our lineup. So we do have a lot of guys that try and jump into rush, so we are going to try and limit that a bit, and we're going to be taking Lindback and making him a depth defenseman instead, just because I would rather be playing Pavelski and Patrick for the offensive guys, and then like Lindback could come in and maybe replace one of them if there's an injury. Now we are going to be trading for a two-way defenseman from the Canucks just to kind of make this defensive core a bit stronger. But also, one thing, I was debating trading for a backup goalie, but I think I'm not going to, because I was looking at DePenta, and he actually goes through waivers if we were to send him down. So he would probably get claimed, and we don't want him getting claimed, obviously, even though he is 24 already. So we are going to leave him as our backup, even though he has been really trash. It could be more the defensive core that's the problem, because we do have 1, 2, 3, 4 minus defensemen, almost 5 of our 6. So yeah, we're probably just going to bring in a defenseman to kind of help that out a bit. And then as we get closer to the deadline, maybe we'll bring in somebody else. But our forward core has been pretty good for offense. It's just more we need to play a better defensive game. Okay, so let's get to that trade that we're going to make with the Vancouver Canucks. The guy we're going to be going after is a veteran. He's 35 years old. It's going to be, let me just go to proposed trade. We are going to be giving up a prospect in this deal. And then we're going to be also be flipping Haynes away, because since we're going to be using Lindback as a depth defenseman, we're going to use Haynes as trade bait because he's still young and he's not really gotten to play much, so we are going to get rid of him as well. So we're going to make a trade with the Vancouver Canucks, and we are going to have to give up one of our defensive prospects in this, which is fine because we do have an abundance of them. And that guy is going to be Mueller. As you can see, Mueller's 76 overall at 22, so he could technically already play in the NHL, I think, almost. But the only problem is we just have a lot of defensemen, and like Cullimore is going to be coming up soon. There's also still, I think, a couple other guys. Yeah, there's still quite a bit of other guys, I'm pretty sure. But anyways, we're going to be trading away Mueller since they want him, and he's got a good chunk of trade value. And then we're going to be acquiring, let me just go by overall, Yuri Slater. So Yuri Slater's 35, as you can see, he's got 1 year left, 81 overall. He's much more of a like two-way defenseman, but he is better defensively. So I'm hoping he could come in and help us out. And he also fits our third line pairing, which is good. So that way we actually have a better fit for that top 6. And he also fits our pellet killing unit. So hopefully he could help us out a bit. And this should be able to go through 1 for 1, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'd say this should go through. Let's see what happens, and it is accepted. So we're going to go like that, and then we're going to be trading away Haynes. Actually, can I go back to the trade thing? I might not be able to trade Haynes. I might have to put him on waivers first, but he'll probably get claimed, I would assume. Because now our defensive core, yeah, I'd have to send down Haynes. Can I just go back to the trade thing without having to worry about this? I don't know if I can. I don't think I can. Can I go back to trades, please? Oh, maybe I could just go to edit lines first. Go best lines in the minors. And then let's go back to, oh, wait, there you go. Okay, we managed to get it done. Because I don't want Haynes getting claimed on waivers. I would rather trade him away since he has a good chunk of trade value. And he's only 24, and he is signed for 2 more years after this. So we're kind of freeing up a bit of cap. Who is interested in Haynes? I could have actually probably done Haynes for him, and then, yeah, I could have just done Haynes for Slager, but whatever. Let's trade Haynes to maybe Florida, somebody in the East. Let's just check what they have. Okay, so they're willing to give up any pick, so we should be able to get back at least a third, I think. Yeah, we should be able to get back a third pretty easily. So let's see if this goes through. Haynes for a 2032 third-round pick from the Florida Panthers. That is accepted, so there you go. And now our team is a bit different, so let's quickly edit those lines a bit. The new addition of Yuri Slater, hopefully that helps us out a bit. He was struggling a bit defensively in Vancouver, but he should be a better fit here in Dallas. And it sucks that we have to scratch Lindback, because Lindback's been pretty underrated in terms of point production, but he's not much of a top 6 defenseman. So that does give us a +1 chemistry boost on our defensive pairing on the bottom 6, which is nice. I don't know if there's any way to improve upon that. Probably not. Yeah, there's no way to improve upon that. So there you go. There's our new defensive core. Hopefully Slager could help out. And then now we have Lindback and Martinson as depth. Where did Reeves go? Did Reeves get sent down too? Yeah, Reeves got sent down as well. I don't know why he got sent down. I'm going to call up Thorensen instead of Reeves, though, because Thorensen has been pretty good down there, and he also has some good offensive stats. So we're going to call up Thorensen and use him as our depth guy instead. And then we're going to go back to edit lines again in the AHL and just go best lines down there and make sure nobody important is scratched. Yeah, that's the case. Good. And defense looks good. Goalies looks good. Okay. So now we are ready to start back up the season simulation and see if we could get to the playoffs. Like I said, we might make some more trades in this episode depending on how our team is simulating, because we kind of been like bouncing around like in terms of winning games and losing games like we normally do. But as of lately, we are on a bit of a winning streak, 4 games to be exact. So hopefully we could continue that with that trade we just made. So let's go to February the 1st and see how we simulate. Hopefully Yuri Slater could produce. Well, he's more defensively minded, so hopefully he could just be like a plus defenseman by the end of the season. That's more of the hope. I'm just hoping he cleans up the defensive core a bit, because he's kind of offensive, but he's more like of one of those guys that could throw a lot of hits and stuff like that, as we win 2 straight games to start this month. And game against Florida is a loss, so that's our end of our winning streak at 6 games, I think. Second Holden and a 5th or a 3rd and a 3rd. That's actually not a bad deal. I might actually accept this, but maybe not. We'd fall back a bit. I mean, that's kind of an intriguing deal. Getting 2 third-round picks for a prospect we're not going to probably use, and then a 2nd and a 5th, but I'm not going to do it. I don't feel like trading away necessarily that 2nd rounder, because who knows with this team, really. We do win 2 more games after that loss, so we are playing some great hockey right now. Hopefully that addition of Slager is helping out. And hopefully DePenta is changing it around, because he was off to a horrific is what I was trying to say, start. So the Penguins have fired their head coach, Jacob Tenkrat. Okay. We got 3 games this week. Game against Montreal to start it off in Montreal, and we lose 6-3, so there's another loss. Callahan and a 4 for 2/3. That's not bad either, because Callahan's more of an AHL guy, but I just don't really want to take free 3rd-round picks from the computer. Even though we are kind of a team that's like in retooling stage. So there is a trade. So Chris Drury and Alexei Morozov head to New York. I don't know if that's the Rangers. If it is, Chris Drury's headed to a team that he actually played for Hardekainen, a 1st and a 2nd. So that's a pretty big trade, because Drury had a lot of trade value. I was looking at maybe trading for him, but he's just got way too much value for us. It must have been the Islanders, because Svensson's now on waivers. Svensson is not really anything. He's not too bad. He would fit on our 3rd line, but I'm not going to claim him, because I don't like claiming players necessarily on waivers, especially if they're young. So we tie with Buffalo 1-1, and then we beat Germany 5-3, so we're still playing some pretty good hockey as of late. Only 2 losses and 1 tie, and then the rest were wins. We do have 3 games this week, and then we have 1 game to end the month. There's another tie. And Pavelski has fractured his jaw, so we're going to just go replace player, because that will put in Lindback, and Lindback is a top 2 defenseman kind of, so that will work good. So there you go. It just sucks that Pavelski's out for a week pretty much. We do lose 4-1 with that injury. And then Alec Motto, the Kings coach, has been fired. No thank you. Anthony Strange is not that bad, but he doesn't fit really on with our roster, and Philippe Boucher's got too much term, and I don't really want to give up 2 first-round picks. Especially, like I said, with this team, how they simulate. We lose 2 straight games due to that injury, probably to Pavelski. And Pavelski is back, which is good. But yeah, Lindback kind of struggles a lot, it seems like. Like, he's probably the type of guy that we're going to have to let go of in free agency. Pavelski has got 19 points, so he is not really producing much right now at the NHL level, but he probably will get up there eventually. He's only like 21 or 22, so he's got a lot of time to get all those points. So a third and a Hedeken for a second and a fourth. The Canucks want to make another deal, but I don't think Hedeken matches their system, so we're not going to accept this. In that game against Washington, we win in overtime 4-3, so we're 25, 21, and 7. Let's just take a quick look at who's leading us in points. It's going to be Sidor now at 55 points in 53 games, so he kind of came out of nowhere. That's good to see. 29 goals in 53 games as well. And we are currently in a wild card spot by how much points? By quite a bit, actually, like 7 points. So we do have some ground, but we need to keep on winning games if we want to get a playoff spot. The Red Wings are killing it this year, and yeah, they're the best in the league at the moment. Okay, let's continue the simulation as we get closer to the trade deadline. I'm not going to check Sliger's stats till the end of the season with us, just to kind of leave it a little bit suspenseful. Game against Chicago to start off February, and it's a home ice game too. It's a divisional game. We lose 3-2. That's not good. We got to beat those divisional teams. Callahan, a third and a fourth for Dexter, who's making $4.7 million, and he's a top 6 forward. Is this guy actually a roster player? Because Callahan's an AHL player in a third and a fourth. What the heck? That's a weird deal. This guy doesn't fit our system, but this would be such a no-brainer almost. Yeah, because Callahan's not even like an NHLer yet. He could be a fourth liner, but a third and a fourth, and then it's probably because Dexter's got 1 year left, but he doesn't match our system at all, so we're not going to do this deal. Because if he matched our system, I'd probably do that deal, but I don't know where I would slot him in is the only problem. We shut out the Kings 4-0, which is good because they've been struggling. Because remember, they did fire their coach. And then we lose to Chicago again, so Chicago seems to be a tough team this year. And now we got 2 tough games against Detroit, who's been killing it this year. We win 5-3. Nice. And that was on their home ice as well. And then we beat them 5-4, so we managed to beat Detroit 2 times. That's good to see. But we lost to Chicago multiple times, so I guess we just step up against good teams. Quebec has now fired their head coach, Gilbert Henrique. Okay. Probably a Frenchman by the sounds of his name. We tie with Tampa Bay at 5-5. Game against New Jersey on home ice. Wow, now they're trying to throw in LaPointe too. Jeez, that would be such a good deal to do. But I don't really see the need of it. Because both those guys don't fit our system, and we'd have to like send down like Martinson and Thornton. But that's kind of an intriguing deal. Like, if we had not a good roster, I'd probably do this. Because Dexter is still kind of young, and LaPointe is a solid like fourth liner or worse. And both of them only have 1 year left as well. We do tie with New Jersey 4-4 after that 5-5 tie with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Game against Anaheim after there's a trade. So Zuzan and Byers head to Czech Republic, and then František Kaberle and I think that's still Ray Whitney go to Quebec. Interesting. And Pavelski was never injured again, so that's okay. Game against Anaheim. In Anaheim as well, there's another trade. Lucas Raymond in a third head to Czech Republic for a second and a third, so seems like Czech Republic is kind of loading up a bit. Plekhanov a second and a second head to Anaheim for Hendrix Lapierre in a third. So a lot of guys that were in the 2020 draft are getting dealt at this stage, which is kind of interesting. A lot of teams are interested in Callahan, which is kind of good, but at the same time, I don't really have a roster player to replace him down there in the minors, so I'm not going to accept any deals for him. But we did beat Anaheim 3-2, game against Chicago for the 3rd time this month, and we lose for the 3rd time this month. And Alanin has been traded for Carlson and a 4th, okay. But yeah, we are definitely struggling against Chicago. I don't know who's on that roster still, but damn. They've been killing us. All 3 games, they've scored 3 or more goals. Okay, another trade. So Files in a third for Zibanejad in a fourth. Okay, and we do beat Sweden 5-0. Game against Winnipeg, another divisional opponent. We've had a lot of divisional games this month. We lose 7-4. I still don't like our defensive play in some of these games. Game against Vancouver, who we should be able to beat. We tie with them 5-5. Desjardins and Arsene head to New York for Purinton, a third, and Horton. Okay, and game against Detroit, who we've beaten twice this month already. And we tie with them for the 3rd time. Rathje and Conklin head to Montreal for Meach and Mo Gilney. Okay. And we're getting another offer, but I am not going to accept it. Okay, so we're 30, 25, and 11 at the trade deadline. Not too bad. We have been kind of struggling in terms of defensive play in some of these games recently, though. We have 71 points. The last team outside of a playoff spot in our division has 63, so that's an 8-point advantage for us. And in the last playoff team, non-playoff team in the Pacific has 60 points, so we have an 11-point advantage there. So we're still in a good situation right now. I don't know if we want to make any trades. Let's take a quick look at what's available on the block, even though this is probably going to make the episode a lot longer. But let's just take a quick look at what's available and see if there's anything that could actually help us out that's kind of new, because most of this probably stayed the same. Derek Plant, I don't think we really have any use for him. He only fits our second line as well. I was debating on bringing like Sergei Zubov and stuff in, but they don't really fit our system that well. Especially with the current setup we have. Danny Markov, we had last season. Dan Kluche, but we don't need a depth goaltender. That would be kind of dumb to trade for a depth goalie. Well, actually, it wouldn't be a bad idea, but still. Damn, this Morris guy would be kind of intriguing as well, but he's not been good in New Jersey. There is actually some decent stuff out there. Stu Barnes, former Dallas Star in real life. He's actually been pretty good this year. 54 points. He only fits our second line, unfortunately. There's also Patrick Poulin. No. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be making any more trades. Even though that could be our downfall. Pellick, no thank you. Lots of teams want to get rid of their goalies, it seems like, as well. Sillinger is available, but I don't think he's much of an upgrade, no. Yuskevich, he does fit our top 6, but that's it. Our top 4. Wyman, he fits our bottom 6. He would be a good, like, third-line center to bring in and then put Medano as the fourth-liner, but I don't think Medano really fits our fourth-line role, so. But that still would be a pretty good piece to bring in. But this guy's really physical. Jeez, I just realized 148 penalty minutes. He's already got over 1,000 penalty minutes in his career. So we don't really need a guy that's going to take a lot of penalties. Ridley Grieg is signed way too long term. Yeah, I don't think we're going to make any more deals. Yep, we're not going to make any more trades this year. Hopefully that Slager trade just helps us get to the playoffs. And then hopefully it gets us farther than round 1. Okay, so let's continue the simulation. Go right to the end of the season. See if we make the playoffs. Let's actually go right to the middle of March just to be safe for now, because we might need to make some line changes down the stretch, because we have been those type of teams that lose a lot of games down the stretch, as we lose 2 straight games, of course. And Ozelinch has been injured till April the 9th, so that is a big loss. A big, big loss. So we're going to have to put in Lindback on that top pairing, I think. But that is a big blow. Actually, we'll move up Helmer, because, yeah, Helmer's defensive. We move up Slager. No, we'll put in Lindback here instead on the top 4, because he's better on his top 4 than the top 6. That doesn't really work either, then. Yeah, we'll go with that, then. And then goalies will stay the same. And, yeah, that really sucks about Ozelinch. That could be our downfall for the rest of the season. But hopefully we still make the playoffs. Game against Toronto is a 4-3 win in overtime after we lost to them 3-1. That's a divisional opponent as well. Montreal, we lose. Come on, guys. We're losing down the stretch, which I don't like. We're only 3 points above the team that's not in a playoff spot now. And we tie with Sweden. Man, this is getting close. We're almost not going to be making the playoffs again at this stage. Like, we are 3 points above the Maple Leafs with less games played. All the playoff spots are in our division almost. Okay, let's just go a little bit at a time. I'm not going to make any line changes yet, but if we lose like these 2 games, then I'll probably will. Game against Calgary, in Calgary, 3-1 win, okay. I'll take that. And Czech Republic has fired their coach. Game against Florida, who now has Haynes in their lineup probably, and Pavelski's been injured. Damn it, we lost 2 of our top defensemen within a span of 2 weeks, I think. So Patrick's going to go up. Lindback is going to go here. And then we're going to have to play at Ford as a defenseman because I can't call up anybody really without having to put them through waivers. Let's see, defensively, 86. Okay, that's pretty good. And then Thornton is an 89 defensively. So we're going to put in Thornton as our defenseman. Yeah, that looks kind of bad. Yeah, I don't like that at all. Yeah, we're just going to have to rock with it for like a couple days though. And we lose 9-4 against Florida. How is the Pacific Division doing? We know our division's tight. We're almost in a wild card spot. And then in that division, yeah, it's still very tight. Holy crap. Hopefully those 2 injuries don't make us lose the playoff race. We could call up Taze from the minors, but I don't know if I want to do that. Yeah, I don't even know if he would fit our system really. Let's go against Boston. Come on, boys. Get me those dubs. 5-2 win. Okay, I'll take that. Nicely done. Game against Germany. Get me another W, please. 6-4 win. Okay. Okay, so we're still doing good with Ford as a defenseman, so that's good. Game against Toronto for the 3rd time this month. 3-2 win. Okay, we're on a 3-game winning streak near the end of the season. This is good. As long as we can continue doing this, we are going to clinch a playoff spot. Game against Boston in Boston for the 2nd time this month. This is a really weird schedule. We tied 4-4, so that's another point. Game against Ottawa, who has been kind of similar to us in terms of their record. And Pavelski is back, which is good. I don't know if we won that game or not. But it's good that Pavelski is back because, yeah, this team does not need a forward as a defense. So there you go. Take out Thornton and put in Pavelski. There you go. And we tie 3-3, so that's another point. I would rather have 2 points, but there's at least another point. Do we clinch yet? No, we have not. Game against Philadelphia. I know I'm taking this really slow, but whatever. It's a 3-0 loss. Not good. Can another team that's outside the playoffs lose? Yes, they can, and we have clinched a playoff spot, so that's good. We're just barely going to make it in this year. Last 2 games of the year just for fun. Game against Edmonton is a 3-2 loss, and St. Louis is a 5-3 win. So we have made the playoffs for the first time in 2 years, I think. We were the last team in our division actually to make it. Jeez. So the Pacific Division came out of nowhere and took the other playoff spots. But that is a really tight playoff race. Okay, so let's get into the player stats for the season, and then we'll also check the standings and then see who we're up against in round 1. Okay, so Sidor, 79 points this year in 82 games. He was also a +4. Wong was a -11 with 77 points. Lundell, 72 points. Medano had 67 points on that 3rd line and also on the power play. So he actually killed it this year. Holwig, 59 points. Drake, 53. Pretty good production throughout our lineup. Yeah, so we were a really good offensive team. Like, Pavelski had 30 points. And it was a +7 as a 21-year-old undrafted defenseman. So, yeah, I'm really excited for his next season. Sliger had 30 points and was a -13. He was a -4 with us, but he had 11 points and 117 penalty minutes in those 41 games as well. But yeah, not too bad of a pickup, I think. Helmer, 28 points +19. He's always good defensively. Patrick had 21 points in his first season. Lindback had 14 points as a depth defenseman, but he was a minus 20. Yikes. Thornton had 1 goal in 5 games. Goalie-wise, Jaguar was not that good, but his save percentage is a lot better. DePenta almost made us miss the playoffs alone. He went 2-15 with an 870 and a 4.15, so hopefully he gets a better overall by next season, or else he might not be one of those goalies we want to keep around, because that's not a good way to start off your career. And then let's take a look at the entire league, see who led the NHL in points. Looks like it maybe was a down year for offense. No, it wasn't. Holy crap. I've never seen that much points in a sim. Victor Kozlov put up 153 points. That's insane. That top line in Winnipeg had 2 100-point man, and holy shit. The league was not doing good for offense, but this top line, wow, okay, I didn't realize Kozlov was assimilating that well. 121 points the year before as well. Jeez. So Kozlov is absolutely insane. Tkachuk was really good. Jers, Osgood, only 100-point guys. So there was not a lot of 100-point players, but Kozlov just went completely off this year. 66 goals as well. Jeez. Best offensive guy for goals, yeah. Kozlov won by 12 goals. My God. Best plus minus this season, Kozlov. Kozlov killed it in every category. Tkachuk led in penalty minutes, but he still had 112 points. So that's pretty impressive. Game-winning goals, Kozlov. Power play goals, Kozlov. Everything's Kozlov and Tkachuk. The Jets are a scary team this year. Short-handed goals, Pat Peak. Okay, that one's kind of interesting. Most hits this season, Tkachuk. Nope, Ryan Smith. And he's in Philadelphia now. Okay. Block shots, whoever this Capaduca guy is. Giveaways, Cole. And takeaways is Pasquale. Okay, who also had the most fights? Probably Tkachuk, right? Yeah, Tkachuk. And then in terms of defensive points, Tommy Vallon with Montreal, 78 points. And then Humphreys, I think, was a free agent he was a free agent in the offseason. I was debating bringing him in, but we already had a lot of offensive defensemen, so 71 assists, jeez. Scott Niedermayer as well, and Chris Pronger. Goalie-wise, the best goalie this year for wins was Chris Osgood with 44. He went 44, 15, and 1. And he also led in shutouts with 7. Best save percentage by a starter was Osgood with a 916. And the best goals against by a starter was Osgood. So Osgood's going to win the Vezina. Best rookie this season, based on points, is Cato with 60 points, then Voinov with 52, and Hebert with 51, and Smith with 40. Okay, so let's take a look at those standings and then see who we're up against in round 1. Sorry if this episode runs a little bit long, but yeah, the Winnipeg Jets and the Detroit Red Wings, really good teams. Kind of scared for that because we were the weak link in our division for the playoffs. So entire league, Winnipeg takes first place, Detroit takes second in the entire league. So those two teams had are over 100 points. Everybody else had below 100 points. It's kind of weird. Where did we finish actually in the entire league? Probably just barely in a playoff spot, right? No, we finished 12th. Not too bad. Goals for per game. We were actually pretty good offensively. We were top 10 in terms of offense. So that's pretty good. And then goals against per game. We were one of the worst defensive teams in the league. Yeah, we still made the playoffs. So we need to clean up our defensive play a bit. And then maybe we could be a better team. Power play percentage, we were one of the best. That's good. And our penalty kill was one of the worst. So yeah, we just need to be really good on defense if we want to win the Stanley Cup this year. Because damn, our defense was trash, but our offense was great. Okay, so let's get into see who we're up against in round 1. Hopefully it's a team we could beat, and hopefully it's not either the Jets or the Red Wings, because both those teams are pretty scary, it seems like. And it's going to be the Detroit Red Wings. Okay, so we're going up against the second best team in the league. Hopefully we could upset them. I do not know what they have anymore because Yzerman and like Fedorov and all those guys are long gone. They probably still have, no, they don't have Lidstrom because Lidstrom signed with LA. So they probably have like a whole new squad. Okay, so they have Hybert, Leperrier, and Dackel. Dackel was there from the beginning, okay, or not from the beginning, but from the beginning of this franchise mode, he was in this game. These two were draft pick guys. Same with Goldman. Damn, they have some really good young talent. Savret and Vyacheslav Kozlov or Slava Kozlov. Third line, Omen, Shantz, and Yolonen. And then fourth line has Marlowe, May, and Dallas Drake. Are you kidding me? Dallas Drake, our former player, signed in Detroit. That's actually pretty cool because he won the Stanley Cup in Detroit in his final season in the NHL, and this could be his final year. So who knows if Detroit wins. Defensemen, Weaver and Slaney, Gibson and Oda. Yeah, their defense is kind of weaker. And then Debians and Alos. So overall wise, I like their forward core a lot. But defensively, I'm not really a huge fan unless it has good chemistry. And then goalie-wise, Chris Osgood was fantastic this season, so we know all about him. And then Tim Thomas is the backup. Okay? Tim Thomas has changed teams quite a bit over his career, but he's now a Detroit Red Wings goalie. And then scratched-wise, Patrice Brisebois is one of their depth guys, and then also Jacques Brassard, okay? So overall-wise, I think they probably have the upside just because they have a lot more experience than us, and they are a younger squad, but I don't know. We'll see, I guess, what happens in next episode if we could somehow manage to beat a 108-point team. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Dallas Stars franchise mode. So in next episode, we will take it to round 1 against the Detroit Red Wings as we look to somehow upset their 51-22-6-3 record. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time.